Backup of configuration is just to recover a configuration if you delete accidentally. Or if a router crashes. Listen, you want to change a router. If you change a router, you have to do every configuration from the beginning once again. But if you have a backup, you don't need to do that. You simply copy it to a new router. For example, you see, this router has got Telnet. This router has got a name called host name. It has got an IP address. Okay, Telnet is not configured. Let us configure Telnet. I'm just giving some, okay, let us do, yeah, okay. Let's do this one. No IP, domain. Domain, D-O-M-A-I-N. No IP, domain, lookup. And then we have, assume that we did a lot of work. I have done a lot of works and you saved it. Now you want to take a backup so that in future, if something gets deleted, you can copy from there. How you can do that? Say copy running configuration to Tftp. Easy, right? You know what is running configuration? Or the one which I showed you now is what the running configuration. Show run. That is what running configuration. All that you have configured so far is the running configuration. All that you have saved is the startup configuration. So the running configuration will have the saved configuration also. So I'm copying running configuration to Tftp. What is the IP address of the remote host? Sorry, 1 minute. I'll show you the topology. Tell me what is the IP address of the remote host?
10.0.0.2.
Correct. So that's the IP address of the remote host of this computer, this router. So we say 10.0.0.2. And now what is the destination file you want it to be? I want to say Kiran base config. So this is the name in which the file will be written. And it says successful. 574 bytes written. Let us go and verify this in the server. Oh, here it is. You see?
Yes,
do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm going to do is I'll delete this router. Oh no. I'll delete this router. I'll bring some other router. And I'll connect a wire. Tell me what I should do if I want the configuration back in my router, in this new router. What I should do? I should copy from the server. I should copy the configuration from the server. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But to copy what I should do on the router? I need to put at least the IP address to communicate to the server. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This router needs an IP address so that using the IP address, it can go and fetch the configuration down here, correct?
Yes,
so you don't need to configure anything other than IP address. Just put the IP address and start downloading the config. So I'm going straight to the interface to put IP address. I'm going to put IP address like 10. You see, I just put some, sorry. I just put some IP address. I just put some IP address to communicate. This IP address will not be permanent. Why? When I copy, the original IP address will come to this interface. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What is the original IP address of this interface? 10.0.0.1.
The one.
So when I copy, what will happen? This will not be there. It will be cleared off. I'm simply using this for time being to communicate to the server. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You see, show IP interface brief. Right now, this is the IP address. Now I'm going to say copy from TFTP to running. What is the IP address of the remote host? 10.0.0.2. What is the source file name? Kiran
Base.
hyphen base
Base.
hyphen config. Let me check what spelling I have given there. Spelling matters. Kiran hyphen base hyphen config. Correct. Now, what should be the destination file? I want the file name to be running. It's okay. Now it is going to fetch from there. It is already done. Do you see that? What do you see? Listen. What is the name before?
Yes.
What is the host name before? Router. But what is the name now you see?
RE.
What does that mean? It means copied, right? The old configuration is there, which means it is copied. You see? It is not router.
Yes,
Now, show IP interface brief. What will be the IP address?
01.
Which means it has totally removed your initial configuration and it has brought everything that was there in the backup, correct?
Yes, sir.
See, this is the advantage. This is the advantage of taking backup. If your router crashes, if you are changing the new router, you can simply download, roll back to the old configuration just by copying. You will not take much time to do this. You don't need to type all that you were doing for months and years together. See, you had one router for more than a year and you did a lot of configuration and the router crashed. It is okay. If you change the router, you can simply copy the configuration. You don't need to do the configuration again. Now, what is next? We learned how to backup. Next, what I'm going to show you is, after setting the password, we forget the password. You understand? After setting the password, we forget the password. How do we recover? Let us first set the password. Line console 0, right? This is the password for the console port. I'll say login using local. What does this mean? This means use the local database. Next, username K1, password K1. Username K2, password K2. And then for the enable mode, means for the privilege mode, I want to say enable password 123. So these are all the passwords that we have set. We have saved it. Copy, running to startup. We have saved it to which memory? NVRAM. We have saved the configuration from startup memory to the NVRAM. Means DRAM to NVRAM. Now, let us pretend we forgot the username and password. If you forget, can you log in?
No.
No chance. Even if you say, router, I am the owner, allow me. It's not going to allow you. You have a house and if you lost the key. If you don't have the key, even though it is your house, it is not going to allow you inside your house. It's your house, but house won't allow you because you only put the lock there, very tight lock. So, what you will do if you lost the key? See, you lost your car key, assume. What you will do? You went to a shopping mall, you parked the car in the parking, and when you come back, you don't see a key. What will you do? It's a simple question, don't think too much. What will you do if you lose your key, your car key? Will you break the
We'll go
car?
by no, no, sir.
See,
Simply I keep the.
house door you may break. It is only 10,000 rupees. You will change the door,
Yes, sir.
or you will break the lock, or you will bring someone and create a duplicate key. But will you do that for your car?
No, sir.
Assume it's Audi car. Definitely, even for Alto car, you won't do it.
Yes, sir.
You will not break the door. You will not try duplicate key. Then how you will open the how you will get into the car? Tell me.
We can't.
Hmm? How
We
you will
have
open?
another key.
Okay, you will go to your home in auto, bring another key.
Yes, yes, sir.
Let's say that another key is also you don't remember where you kept. You search, you couldn't find. Which means another key is also lost, assume. There are two ways to open the car now without breaking. One, if it is a very high-end car, you call the customer care. They will open you from remote. You know that? You don't know?
No, sir.
Your car will be opened from remote. See, some people what they do, they keep the key inside and they lock the car. What they do, they take the phone, they call the customer care. Customer care sitting in somewhere, London or somewhere, they can open a car in India because they know you are the owner. From the call that you made, they verified you. They can open your car from London. That is one way. But it's not available for all car. Now, how you will open? You will call the mechanic. Mechanic knows how to open that car without a key. Seriously, I'm telling you. Every mechanic knows how to open a car without a key. You know that? If you know that, then you won't trust any car now. Why? Mechanic will come and steal your car, no? But that is the truth. Every mechanic knows how to open a car. They will simply, in less than 10 minutes, they will open the car. One of my friend, he lost his Maruti Suzuki's car key. Actually, he left the car inside and he locked the key. He locked the door and he couldn't open now. All the windows were up, closed tight. And that is what he did. He called the mechanic from a nearest mechanic shop. He's not even working in an authorized Maruti showroom. He's just a normal roadside mechanic. He came with one big rod, small, thin scale like, measuring scale like rod, and he was able to open the car, Maruti Suzuki. Who knows to open? Only a mechanic knows. Not everyone will know. Correct? You are a
Yes, sir.
mechanic. You are that mechanic of the router. Those people who study the course, he is the mechanic, no? He is the engineer, right? So you should know how to open the router when the key is lost. See, the key is lost now. Do you know how to open? If you know, you are a mechanic. If you don't know, you are not a mechanic. You are not a network engineer. There are many network engineers who knows a lot of big stuff, but they don't know the simple thing. They don't know how to get into a router when the password is forgotten. But they work in networking for like 15 years, 20 years, 12 years, and they don't know how to recover a password. Even this one that you did now, using TFTP, you are copying the operating system, right? The previous class lab. Many people don't know. Many engineer who says they are very big in networking, they really don't know those things. See, if we don't know that, we cannot claim ourselves as an engineer. We may know a lot of big things, but still you don't know the small things. So now let us learn how to know the password so that I can get in. For that, we need to use some special tool. What was the tool the mechanic was using to open the car? He was using a thin metal, means like a rod, like a scale, a metal scale. Likewise, you need to find some way to get into the router to know the password. You need to use some special method at least once so that you can know the password. After knowing the password, you will do normal login. So you need to do some special login. What that mechanic was doing, he pulled the glass somehow. He managed to pull the glass little down with that small iron rod. And then he put the iron rod and he pressed in one place, immediately it opened. The car gate opened. And the key was inside and he used the key to start the engine. That is what we are going to do. For that, you need to know the technique. What technique? Off the router, as soon as you on it, you need to press Control Pass Break. Control Alt Pass Break. Oh no, it's not going. Okay, here. You see? It stopped the decompression in the middle. You see? Booting aborted due to the user interrupt. What I was doing, I was pressing the. Wait, let me write and show you. I was pressing the Control button and the FN button in my left hand, and on the right hand I was pressing the pass button. Let me show you in the keyboard. On screen keyboard. You see this button? I was pressing these two buttons. Wait. Why it is coming double, I don't know. Okay. I was pressing these two buttons in my left hand and I was pressing this button. You got it?
Yes, sir. But in my keyboard, there is no password.
It will be with insert. Do you see insert?
Yes, sir.
Pass and insert will be same key. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You press that button. Even my keyboard is not like this. In my keyboard,
Yes.
FN is here. Control is here.
Yes, sir. Same thing. Same here also.
And my insert button is not here. It is right here.
Yes, sir.
Next to delete.
Yes,
Here
sir.
is my, yeah. So you need to
Yes.
press these two key and the pass key.
Oh.
When you do that, the booting will interrupt and you will enter into roam on mode. In roam on mode, what we need to do is we need to reset the registry value. This is the command to change the registry value. What is the registry value? You remember I was telling you some hi-fi car, if you call to the customer care, they can open from remote. What they actually do, you know, from remote, through the internet, they speak to the car. In car, there is a program which is asking for the key. Only when you put the key, the door will open. So there is a program in the car which is keeping the door locked. Now what they will do from remote, from London, they will bypass that algorithm. They will start the car booting process. While booting, they will say, don't load that key, the lock key program. Don't load. So when the program is not loaded, door will be opened. Because the program, lock and key program is always on, unless you put the key, you cannot open. What if that algorithm is bypassed? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If the algorithm of lock and key is bypassed, then there is no lock. Even though there is a lock, the lock doesn't function because there is no program to make the lock work. That is what they will do from London wirelessly, and your car will be open now. Likewise, we need to now tell the router to bypass NVRAM. You know why I'm bypassing NVRAM? All the passwords are saved where?
NVRAM.
I'm going to tell the router you are going to boot by bypassing NVRAM. Don't copy anything from the NVRAM. Anything, any configuration, no IP address, no host, nothing. Just load the router as a blank router. After loading the router without NVRAM configuration, you will be allowed to log into the router because there is no lock and key loaded. After logging into the router, you can go to the startup memory and know the password and username. That's what I'm going to do. You see, config registry 0x2102. No, 0x 2142. This is the registry value which is telling bypass NVRAM. Don't load anything from NVRAM. After saying this, I say reload or boot. Is it boot or reload? Boot. See, this time it is not going to load anything from NVRAM. It will be simply a fresh router without any configuration. You see, it is asking yes or no. What does that mean? Answer no immediately. What does this mean if it is asking you yes or no?
No, sir.
What no?
Continued configuration.
What?
Continued configuration.
No, my dear. When will you get this question? Will you get every time you restart the router? No.
No, sir.
Only when the NVRAM is empty or only when the NVRAM is not considered. Which means this router is fully blank. Will it ask me the password now? No. You see, there is no host name. Which means nothing is loaded. You see, show running or show IP interface brief. No IP address, all are in shutdown state. And show running, there is no username that you set, nothing is there.
Yes, sir.
But listen, I can still know the password. Show. Very good. You see, your host name was R1. Your enabled password is 123. Your username is K1. Password is K2. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now you know all your password. You write down with a paper all the password, and now you do the normal booting. Currently, what you did is not a normal booting. Currently, what we did is we bypassed NVRAM. Is it normal booting?
No, sir.
Normal booting is you have to load NVRAM. See, show version. Right now, you have used this registry value to boot the router. This is not a normal registry value. You know what is the normal registry value? 0x2102. This is the normal registry value. But now you see a bypass. You see a bypass. It is not normal. It's bypass. Now let us go and do normal. The command is this: config registry 0x2102. You no need to do the control FN pass command. You can do it here itself. And now boot. Oh, sorry, reload. Wait. I should have said reload.
Sir, what if we router on and off? What will happen?
That is also good. Let us do that. We already changed the registry value, so you can on and off. Off, on. Now it is going to simply ask you the password. If it asks the password, username, which means it's a normal boot. You see, it is not asking any question, yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Because this time it has loaded using NVRAM. So I'm going to say username. Before that, wait. I want to check something. See, last time, even though it is showing NVRAM here, no, not this one. I want to show you that it didn't load. Okay, this time it is loading NVRAM. Let's say, what is the username? Kiran1, Kiran1. See, I'm inside. And password is 123. So we have learned how to know the password if we forgot the password. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you use the same version of packet tracer that I'm using?
Yes, sir.
I am going to set some password and I send it to you. You are going to crack the password. Means you are going to know the password and tell me what password. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm stop sharing it and I'm going to check. I'm going to change the password. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Do you see my screen?
No, no, sir. Blank.
Okay. I'm putting new users and I'm canceling the old password. I'm saying all right. So I have done the changes. I'm going to send this file. You will open it with your packet tracer, okay? Okay, now this is it.